Welcome to Lesson 6, the interviews. So your application has made it through the cuts and now you're invited to go to your interview. This is awesome. This is where you get to shine. This is not where you get to memorize your top 50 answers and repeat them back as a robot. This is where you get to sit down with the person on the other side of the table and have a conversation. Now, I'm not against thinking about an answer and thoughtfully, really thinking about it so you can give an honest and complete answer. But I am very much against people who do scripts. And you can tell a script. You can tell when I'm free-flowing on these videos and when I'm reading the teleprompter. It's different. The body language is different. The passion is different. The voice is different. Your interviewee will be able to see that as well. So, if you're nervous around others, if you're nervous with these things, practice and practice and practice. Not so that you can pull the wool over someone's eyes, but so that you can represent who you are accurately. Figure out what your weak spot is. Is it the handshake? Is it the eye contact? Is it how you dress? Is it fill in the blank and practice? This interview is going to be so important to getting into medical school. So let's talk about it for a little bit. You need to take time to answer why you want to attend this medical school. Consider the school's academic approach, student services, campus location, and general environment. Prepare short, relevant stories about yourself. Practice responses. Please do mock interviews. Current doctors and pre-med advisors are the best people to do a practice interviews with. It's easy to explain to your friends who know nothing about the field why you want to be a doctor. It's much harder to explain it to an actual doctor. Research the medical schools and help provide context for your interview conversations. Call ahead of time to confirm the location, time and date, and ask if there's anything they would like you to read before the interview. We all know the saying about first impressions. You can't ever get a second chance to make one, so make it a good one. Arrive 30 minutes in vicinity of the area and 10 to 15 minutes before to announce yourself. You need to know what to wear, have good eye contact, shake hands, be kind, positive, confident, and upbeat. What questions you should be prepared to answer. Make sure you can talk about all activities on your application and why medicine suits you. Be ready to explain why you want to be a doctor. What questions you should be asking. Why did you choose to teach practice at this school? What is a typical day like for you? What makes this medical school unique? What are the most important programs or opportunities here? What would I need to do to have you look at me in 4 years and say that I was the best medical student you have ever had? This is a brilliant question. And all fairness, I got it off of a YouTube channel called Charisma on Command on how to do an interview. But when you ask somebody, I want you to think, project, and imagine me being the best medical student you've ever had. Tell me what that looks like. They will then transfer all of that onto you, which is awesome because they're now visualizing you being the best medical student ever. But more importantly than that, you are getting the roadmap to success. You're learning what this school really wants in its physicians. And you then get to decide if that matches your why. And if that is going to be an environment where you can thrive in or just simply exist in until you get the degree behind your name and then you get back to being you. So when you ask this question, when you ask someone to visualize you being the best at fill in the blank, it's telling you what their values are, what their priorities are. You know, a lot of times when people would come into my residency program and interview with me, it was pretty obvious they didn't look up anything about my practice. They didn't look up anything about me. They didn't look up anything about the interview question or the residency. And they were asking things that they should have known and asked other questions to open up the book, so to speak. Not questions that they could have learned on their own with the 30-second internet search if they cared. They didn't come here because they want to be spoon-fed everything and patted on the head. Good little doctor, let me help you learn what you should have done yourself. I don't have time for that. I have time for people who want to do what they can on their own, and when they need help from me, that's when they come to get that help from me. Not that I'm spoon-feeding them and taking care of them like the toddler that they still unfortunately are. Go somewhere else. Learn those basic lessons you should have learned early in high school. I'm being a little harsh right now, but so many people, and these are people who've gone through medical school and are at the top of their class, they aren't willing to do the work. They think that their grades, I should just roll out the red carpet for them because they got great grades. Not interested in that. I do use grades as an entry point to weed out applications. After that, I don't even care anymore. And here's a little secret. The better your grades are, the more you're going to try to rely on them, and the more you're going to turn off the institutions that you really want to go to. All right. Bottom line. If the person interviewing you likes you as a person, by the end, you have a good chance of getting in. It's people skills. And think about this. They're interviewing you in a nerve-wracking situation, but you're going to be interviewed, dozens of times every day by your patients. And if you can't develop that instant rapport, if you can't sit down with somebody and actually have a conversation as a person, not as a robot saying, I got this MCAT score and this GPA and I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Nobody wants that, especially your patients. Now's your chance to practice all of these things. Please go in front of the most nerve-wracking person you know who knows something about medicine and have them grill you. Be appreciative, be kind, give them value back in some way, but have that be where you cut your teeth, not at the school that is your dream school, because you know you can add value to that school, and in return, your why will be lifted up.